இருந்துச்சு. என்னையா கத்திரிக்காய் விலை என்னன்னா முன்ன ஒரு தூக்கு 4 அணா 2 அணா விற்குது. இப்போ 2 ரூபா 3 ரூபா. கொண்டு வந்து நம்ம சாப்பிட்டு சாப்பிட்டு
மழை இல்லையே,
அரிசி வாங்க போனாலும் கஷ்டமா முடியல. அதனால நாம காட்டுக்கு போனாலும் ஏதோ ஒரு
கஷ்டமா இருக்கு.
எந்த காய்கறி விலை கேட்டாலும்
அதிக விலை விற்கும்.
Gopal was one of 10,000 people who died from snakebite in India last year. Thousands more were bitten by venomous snakes but survived. The best weapon against snakebite is knowledge. Knowing which snakes are venomous, what they do, where they live, and how to avoid them. And of course, how to treat a bite should it happen to you. Let's look at this accident again. What can we learn from Gopal's death? Could it have been avoided? Snakes are most active in the rainy season, and dusk is when they emerge from their holes to hunt for rats and other prey. Paddy fields, common throughout India, are full of rat holes for snakes to live in. This is ideal snake habitat, with water and plenty of prey. Snakebite is therefore an occupational hazard for the millions of barefoot farmers and laborers who trot home at dusk every evening. But how can we learn about snakes? Usually, a quick glimpse of a snake is all we get. In fact, educating people about snakes has been the major achievement of the Madras Snake Park since its establishment in 1969. Children are quick to learn that most snakes are not dangerous. People kill snakes because they are afraid of them. There are many frightening stories, even about the harmless ones, like this rat snake. It cannot give a deadly sting with its tail as commonly believed. In fact, no snake stings with its tail. The rat snake is often confused with the cobra and killed needlessly. This is unfortunate, as the rat snake is the most valuable member of the snake tribe. It is now recognized as the friend of the farmer because of all the rats it eats. Look at this beautiful vine snake. பச்சைப்பாம்பு தெரியும்ல, மரத்து மேலே கடிக்கும். எல்லாம் சொல்றாங்க இது கண் குத்துது, ஆனால் கண் குத்துது கிடையாது. Because of the pointed shape of its head, people believe that it pecks at your eyes. This is not true. Nature has made its head look like a leaf to help it to hide from its enemies. The vine snake opens its mouth wide and puffs up its body when it's frightened. This is a defensive bluff. The common sand boa, absolutely harmless, is falsely believed to cause leprosy. Perhaps this is because of its blotchy pattern. The nervous bronzeback tree snake has a colorful myth. The story goes that these harmless snakes will bite someone, then climb a high tree to wait for the victim's funeral pyre. Most snakes, like this checkered keelback, will bite in self-defense. These children can now see for themselves that bites from a harmless snake are not dangerous. All these snakes can be handled without fear. But there are 4 dangerous snakes which are common throughout India, the big 4. They are the saw-scaled viper, the Russell's viper, the crate, and the cobra. In India, only the big 4 are of medical importance. These are the snakes you should know and learn to identify. The big 4 are commonly found near human habitation because where there are people, there will be rats, and rats provide food and shelter for snakes. Meet Chokalingam and Rajendran, 2 Irula tribals from Madras, who have been catching snakes since childhood. Excellent naturalists, they are the best people to show us where the big 4 live. The saw-scaled viper prefers open country and lives in small thorny bushes. In South India, the saw-scaled viper rarely grows to over 30 centimeters in length. Its northern cousin, however, may grow to twice this size. The smallest of the big 4, it is the only snake that makes a hissing sound by rubbing its rough scales together. Other snakes make a warning hiss by breathing hard. Saw-scaled vipers have a zigzag pattern and a cross mark on the head. They are most active after dusk. So be careful when walking at night. Protect your feet and always carry a light. This is typical Russell's viper country. Fairly open, but with pockets of thick vegetation. Thorn hedges are favorite hiding places, as Irlas know. When frightened, the Russell's viper hisses like a steam engine and can strike like a spring. The triangular head, chain-like pattern, and stout body make it easy to identify the Russell's viper. Russell's vipers feed mainly on rats. Keep these dangerous snakes away by keeping rats away. Hunting for crates, Chokalingam and Rajendran are drawn to a pile of rubble. From experience, they know that brick piles provide a cool and safe refuge for snakes, particularly the crate. The krait has the most powerful venom of the big four. Chokalingam is therefore cautious about handling this large one. Kraits are snakes of the night and are almost never seen during the day. They are blue-black with thin white crossbands and grow to well over 1 meter in length. One way to avoid kraits is by clearing away piles of rubble near your home. The best known of the big four is the cobra, which Chokalingam and Rajendran hunt extensively. They know that cobras favor agricultural areas such as this because grain brings rats, and rodents are the main food of the cobra. The Urlas demonstrate their skill while digging out a complex burrow to find a cobra. Hood spread, the cobra is easy to recognize. It looks intimidating, but actually it is frightened. Cobras vary in color from cream to black. The spectacle marking on the back of its hood also varies considerably. Without its hood, the cobra looks like any other snake. Snakes are not aggressive toward man. When confronted, they would rather go away. But they will bite if they are trapped or provoked. Most bites are accidents. People often get bitten when they step on a snake. In this case, Gopal's father was lucky. Our response to snakes in India is complex. On the one hand, we fear them. Popular cinema and folklore are full of stories about snakes. Snakes that take revenge on people and display evil characteristics. On the other hand, we worship them. Hindu mythology has a pantheon of gods and goddesses associated with snakes. The snake is mainly associated with Shiva, the destroyer in the Hindu trinity. Paradoxically, it is also a symbol of fertility. The benign elephant god Ganesh is often depicted with a cobra wrapped around his waist and a rodent at his foot. This combination is very significant and brings us to the dynamic relationship between snakes and rodents. People often ask, why protect snakes? What good are they? The answer is that snakes eat rats, and rats are today our most powerful enemy. Look at this rodent burrow bursting with stolen grain. Up to 10 kilos of rice can be found in just one rat hole. They eat 30 to 50% of our grain and cause untold damage to crop plants and trees. But where there are rats, snakes will follow. Snakes are nature's answer to the rat problem. They are perfectly designed to hunt, catch, and kill rats. This, then, is the reason snakes should be protected. But to stop the wanton killing of snakes, people must stop being frightened of them. Fear comes from ignorance. Gopal should not have attacked the snake. If he had left this snake alone, he would have been alive today. Put yourself in the snake's place. You are a low to the ground, defenseless creature. When a large animal, in this case a man, attacks you, your only defense is to bite. Gopal's next mistake was that he panicked. Panic speeds up the effects of the venom. If you have quick and proper treatment, there is no need for fear. Gopal's third and fatal mistake was in the treatment. He should have gone straight to the hospital for antivenom serum, which is the only cure. Village remedies and mantras do not cure snakebite. Sometimes they seem to work, but only because a fatal dose of venom has not been injected by the snake. In other words, the patient would have survived anyway. Snakebite studies show that less than a quarter of untreated cobra bites are fatal. Most snakebite deaths in India happen because the patients do not get antivenom serum in time. Thousands of lives are lost in this way. Antivenom serum can bring a dying man to life. How this drug is made is fascinating. Our story begins here at the Irla Snake Catchers Cooperative. Its tribal members supply the big four snakes for venom extraction. The cooperative keeps each snake for 3 weeks, during which time its venom is extracted 3 times. It is then released back into the wild. This sets the cooperative apart from other venom production centers. The amount of venom extracted varies from snake to snake. Some, like this crate, are reluctant to bite and release barely a drop. Others, like this cobra, are like miniature taps. The crate and cobra have nerve-paralyzing venoms. The Russell's viper has the most impressive injection system of the big four. The fangs are nature's hypodermic needles. As the snake bites, venom travels down from the venom ducts and out through the fangs. This deadly juice is a highly evolved saliva that helps the snake digest its prey. The Russell's viper and saw-scale viper both have venoms that affect the blood system. This liquid gold is of great value for medical purposes. It is sent to institutions which produce antivenom serum, the cure for snakebite. Horses play an important part in the making of this life-saving drug. Here at the Serum Institute of India in Pune, small doses of venom from the big four snakes are injected into horses. In response, the horse produces an army of antibodies in its blood to fight this invasion of poison. These antibodies will now be tapped and used to save human lives. The horse's blood is gently withdrawn. The blood flows into a sterile room and enters a computerized machine that separates the plasma from the blood. Within minutes, the red blood cells are returned to the horse. This process, developed for humans, has been specially modified here at the Serum Institute for the safety of the horses. The animals feeding during this process indicates that there is no discomfort. The plasma containing the antibodies follows a complex process of purification and testing as it is prepared for human use. Strict quality control is maintained throughout the process. The Serum Institute has recently started to produce antivenom serum by a modern method known as column chromatography. The entire process takes place within this sterile room. The method cuts the time and cost of production and ensures a quality product. Filled in vials, the purified liquid serum is freeze-dried. This preserves it for 5 years at room temperature. Therefore, antivenom serum can now be used even in remote areas without refrigeration. The Serum Institute is one of the 3 major manufacturers of antivenom in India. This is the only cure for venomous snakebite in India. Every year, thousands of lives are saved because of this drug. But the production and distribution of antivenom serum is still far below the needs of the rural people in India. As important is the need to advertise it among the rural people, who are the most common victims of snakebite. Meet Lakshmi, who survived because she knew about antivenom serum.
அம்மா சுமாரா 1 வருஷம் இருக்கும். நானும் எங்க அக்காவும் அந்த சவுக்கு தோப்புல விறகு பொறுக்கிட்டு இருந்தோம்.
Yes, I was bitten about a year ago. I was collecting firewood with my sister. It was evening. As I picked up a branch, something jabbed at my hand. I felt a sharp pain. I knew a snake had bitten me because I saw it move away. I shouted and my sister came running. She took me to a nearby tree, sat me down, and told me not to panic. I was scared, but knew it was important to keep calm. A man had died of snakebite from my village, after which a local doctor explained to us about the proper treatment of snakebite. Then my sister tore her sari to make a tourniquet. She tied it on my upper arm since I had a wrist bite. She slipped 2 fingers under the tourniquet to make sure it wasn't too tight. The next thing was to get to a clinic or hospital that had antivenom serum. Luckily, a man on a bicycle was nearby and he helped us. We knew that time was important and we had to get to the hospital quickly. Fortunately, a van stopped for us. We were at the general hospital an hour and a half after I was bitten. Along the way, we stopped at 2 clinics, but they did not have antivenom serum. The village is where people get bitten by snakes. What use is it to stock the antivenom in the city hospital? By this time I was feeling really sick and my arm was throbbing with pain. The doctor said it was probably a Russell's viper bite and gave me 2 bottles of antivenom serum through an intravenous drip. Normally I hate injections, but this time I knew it was the only thing that could save my life. I was discharged in 2 days, and in a month my hand was normal.
Follow Lakshmi's example and live. Don't be like Gopal. Don't attack snakes. If bitten, don't panic. Keep calm. Don't try other remedies. Go straight to the hospital. Remember, antivenom is the only cure for snakebite. Above all, avoid dangerous snakes. Be aware of snakes' habits and habitats. Learn to recognize and keep away from the big 4. The saw-scale viper, Russell's viper, crate, and cobra.